Let's start with the Olympic Games, getting that gold medal. What does that mean to someone like yourself?
Just a dream come true. I think that's probably the most cliche answer I could come up with. I really felt like we took it day to day. Like it was every day we were present, we were there, we were enjoying it with each other. And what was so interesting because of COVID is I think we were forced to be together even more than we would have, in normal times. And I think that that's a big part of the reason as to why we won the gold medal, because we were definitely the most connected team there.
It's unbelievable, and it says a lot to how fast the Canadian women's program has developed.
I definitely feel like there's a feeling amongst the group that there's still another level to go to.
I think our team has turned a new leaf in terms of our identity and understanding that we are one of the top teams in the world, and so we need to have the confidence with that while also carrying, the humble part of our Canadian identity.
Let's get rid of the humble part, okay? We gotta drop the politeness, the humble part of being Canadian. No, it's what makes us Canadian. It's what makes people love us and want to maybe move up to the Great White North. Now, the first trans, non-binary athlete to win gold at the Olympic Games. What was that moment like for you?
Being able to win that medal with my team obviously had a whirlwind of feelings, and being able to cross off a childhood dream of mine. That being said, when I think about my identity and the magnitude of that moment, but also understanding the fact that there's still so many barriers in place for trans athletes, it really brought me a huge mix of feelings. It's just continuing to move that fight forward, and I think with a lot of visibility, there is resistance, and so for me, it's making sure that we keep moving in the right direction.
My biggest fear is you go and, I've used the analogy, you get to the top of the mountain and you just look out and you enjoy it, and we keep talking about the gold medal. I think for me as a coach, as soon as that moment was over, it was about building, and I think, going back to hard work, to the values that got us there, we have to keep pushing forward.
I've always been really, really competitive, and I think, at this point in my career, I want to take over that role as the goal scorer of the team, and I think that this is, what a great tournament to kind of step into that new direction.
Do you think the fighter comes from you with that little bit of Saskatchewan blood in you?
Absolutely,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it.
And Becky finds the back of the net. Clinical finishing. Sinclair! 6 goals for Canada. This Canadian squad comes out, puts their mark on this tournament.
Legacy. Desiree Scott, your legacy not only in the prairies but within Canada speaks for itself. But what's the next step for this women's side?
I think for us, it's big chat, but we want a league in Canada. We want people to be able to go from the grassroots all the way up to becoming a professional, and hopefully, they can see that women's soccer can thrive within Canada.
For my generation and just generation to come is just we don't want to be seen as the underdogs.
Canada asserting dominance, wins Group B, and now it's about winning the World Cup, but it starts here.
We're trying to show young people that they can do this as a career. This is something that if you have the passion for it, it's worth chasing. And to see now the success of the men's team partnered with the women's team, we hope that it just inspires the next generations to push for the best soccer in Canada, countrywide.
I think for me, it's just really cool to be a part of this group that's taken our program to the next level.
It's about the now and winning and keep winning, but I think in the future, it's actually making sure that a whole load of coaches are actually leading this team in the future.
Me as a Black female as well, just showing that representation, and at a young age, just showing that you can, she can, that type of mindset, just inspiring the future and just, leaving a print in that way off the field as well.
We know what Canada brings on the pitch, but off the pitch, fighting their own fight with the equality issue in and around equal pay. Talk to me a little bit about that.
It's a really massive thing, and that other countries are getting right already, and we have an incredible group of players working with our lawyers and working with Canada Soccer and trying to work with the men's team as well, and just make sure that we do this right.
Not a whole lot changed after we won the gold medal, and I think it was kind of like an alarm light went off in our minds, like, what's the deal? What more do we have to do? And we have always been, as a women's national team, forward-thinking. We've always been able to share our opinions and our passions. And if it wasn't for, teams like you were on, the 2012 bronze medalists, none of this conversation would ever be happening. So I think it's really important to recognize that and to know that, there is a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and we are very committed to not, signing anything or committing to anything until it's exactly what we want.
My understanding is that true equality is what's been sought from both the players, but also Canada Soccer. And I think for me, I'd be proud to work for an organisation that can achieve that, because I think these players, how much you sacrifice, and I think these players deserve that true equality. So I'd be thrilled if we can get that over the line, and my understanding is we're doing everything to do that.